Saludos amigos, Kash, President and CEO of Kash International Luxury Real Estate. Hey guys, how are you doing? Hope everybody's doing amazing out there from wherever you're watching this video. Guys, today we're gonna be running you through an official notice, let's put it that way. We're gonna be running you through a scenario here where we are actually planning to go live going forward every Friday. Okay, we don't know exactly what time, we're working out those details, but we wanna go live with you every Friday from a special location. Today we happen to be right in front of, right at beautiful Punta Palmera, a place that I call home. And what I'm gonna be doing is Kash and Carlos, we're gonna be coming to you live and we're gonna be fielding a bunch of questions. It'll be a great opportunity for all of you loyal subscribers and people that are dialed into the channel and what we do over here to ask questions. What we're gonna try to do is recap the week, okay? We're gonna try to go through different news events that have happened. We're gonna try exactly, current events. We're gonna talk about scenarios that clients have experienced, different things that we've experienced, new projects that are out there, new opportunities to purchase, any new laws that could affect your real estate purchases. So we're gonna run through all of that stuff with you, and we're gonna try to do that every Friday, but we're definitely going to, we joked around about what we're gonna call this, and we haven't decided yet.
Maybe they can help us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe you guys could leave a comment. We were gonna call this every Friday, Cocktails with Kash, but we're not sure. I don't know if I'm feeling that one, so guys, leave some comments. We talked about weekly recap.
Weekly recap with Carlos and Kash.
Exactly. So, you know, that's a perfect segue into who is this guy sitting here with me, okay? This is Carlos. He is my Director of Operations here in the Punta Cana, Cap Cana, and we're focusing on Vista Cana a lot, in the Vista Cana areas, White Sands, all those areas. But he is my guy over here for the entire eastern border, right? Yeah. Is that what you call it? The eastern sector.
Yeah, absolutely.
Carlos is an amazing person. He's gonna run through a little bit about himself, explain to you why he is part of our team. He's gonna explain to you what he's bringing to the table so you guys can fully understand and get to know him. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself. If you're new to the channel, what we wanna do in this intro video, Carlos, is we wanna explain to everybody, you know, if you're new here, what is this whole Love Where You Live? What is that all about? How did it start? You know, why are we so passionate about real estate here in Dominican Republic? Specifically, as you know now, Carlos, the trifecta that we offer our clients. Specifically, if you're new to the channel again, you got Las Terrenas. We focus on Cap Cana / Punta Cana, but also we look at Piantini. Piantini, not P&T, Piantini. That is a specific neighborhood in Santo Domingo that we think is tailor-made for North America.
The capital in Santo Domingo.
Exactly, exactly. So, what we want you guys to do is understand what we're going to be bringing you to the table, what a little bit about our website, a little bit about the channel, a little bit about what it's like to live here in the Dominican Republic, as we both do.
Can I also say something? Because
of course.
we started, we were kind of just messing around with the camera and everything, and Kash and I, we're looking at the camera, we're like, this looks fake. These guys are not going to believe this.
Totally.
This is not fake, guys. This is really like, this is the lobby right here.
This is honestly, guys, how we live. And it's not, we're not on vacation here and shooting some cheesy video talking about nonsense. No, this is where we live, and that's why we bring this to right? Yeah. Because we love where we live, and that's our entire brand. Carlos has got the shirt on, I've got the logo. If anybody knows me, I wear my brands on my sleeve or on my chest because that's how passionate I am about my brands, and the slogan, Love Where You Live, has really changed so many people's lives because they're able to internalize what this is all about. Okay.
Kash got me like 37 t-shirts.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not wearing these t-shirts, Kash.
And sure enough, you're like, I love where I live.
I love where I live.
I got to do it.
So we ended up wearing them. We also made these new shirts too.
Exactly. I got a couple in the closet too. So guys, let's dive into a little bit about what we're doing here, what this is all about. What are we doing here in the Dominican Republic? First off, I'll tell you where we're standing. Like he was saying, the backdrop, this is not a backdrop, this is real life. I just bought a 2-bedroom apartment here in Punta Palmera, and we were just up there. This is what I wake up to every day. This is what I go to sleep to. This is how my daughter lives. This is part of our DNA and how we exist. And this is something that I feel really has the ability to change lives at an organic level, at a cellular level. When you're exposed to the ocean and so close to it, you really, you know, it changes how you feel about things because you understand, you know, how grand the world is. When you're next to this body of water, and the same thing with you, like your family's here.
You're having a bad day and you're just literally just walking by here. It's like, oof.
You're suddenly not complaining about the guy that cut you off on the street. You're not complaining about the person at Wendy's was rude to you, because certain things just don't matter anymore because the world is so grand, and this is what this reminds us of, right? So where we're at right now is Punta Palmera. That is the specific development inside Cap Cana specifically. Cap Cana is one of our key areas that we focus on. Cap Cana is right next door to Punta Cana, and it is to myself and Carlos and the team, it is one of the top areas in the Dominican Republic that is absolutely booming, and you must really pay attention to that market. Because what you see of Cap Cana today, guys, if you wait to get into this market and you want to get into the market, now is the time for Cap Cana. Similar thing with Las Terrenas. As you guys know, this all started, a little bit about myself now. Las Terrenas is where this entire thing started for me, the entire brand of Love Where You Live, and we decided that we were going to take that dive into the Dominican Republic and make it home. And now it's been almost 5 years now, and absolutely no regrets in the entire process. Actually, we're so happy that you guys started to follow along with our journey, and then we were able to help hundreds upon hundreds, maybe thousands of you at this point, in guiding you to find the right properties, the right prices, the right developers, making sure you buy real estate safely and securely, and that's a big thing of what we do.
Daily, we're seeing people reaching out to us.
Honestly, yeah, and it's not something that is showing any sign of slowing down. One thing that I explain to a lot of clients, because they say, how do you know this isn't just like a boom and bust scenario?
Right.
The big thing that I explained to a lot of clients, and Carlos and myself were talking about this the other day, is in the past, people were buying and speculating. They were buying a piece of real estate and they were speculating it's going to go up and maybe flip it after. Not the case now. 99% of my clients are buying it with the intent to use it at some point, either now or in the short future.
Right.
So what that means is people, young professionals, seniors that are retiring, all these different people are choosing to call Dominican Republic home.
Right.
And that is different because you're getting a lot of talent that's moving into this country. So you're getting a ton of talent that's coming. You're getting professionals like ourselves that are choosing to call this place home. So we're bringing mental assets here, and we're making the Dominican Republic even better than what it is, right? So it's a different play.
And one thing that you also have to kind of take into consideration is when people are investing here, it's not like back at home, hey, I'm going to go ahead and purchase a piece of property. I'll put $5,000 down on here,
Exactly.
and see how it does. They've got skin in the game.
Absolutely.
They've got a lot of skin in the game, so these people are actually committed. They want to see this grow. They want to see where this is going and stuff like that.
And that's a great point, because when you look at the reasons why people are choosing to call the Dominican Republic home, there's so many reasons why people are doing it. But some of the top reasons, for me at least, is the fact that the real estate as an investment is a great play here in the Dominican Republic. They're forecasting 8% growth in real estate development. So you're seeing real estate developments constantly appreciating, and that appreciation is not short term, it's long term, because people are moving here, right?
Correct.
The other thing is obviously the weather, guys. Like, look at this. If you can have access to a beach every single day, you don't necessarily, not everybody can afford to or wants to be right on a beach, but if you are within a few minutes of the beach, you can drive and access it. You can access it any time, and that's not possible for a lot of. I'm from Canada, as you guys know. That's not easy. You're not accessing a beach, especially during the winter months. It's just not happening. So you got access to that. Then you got a emerging middle class, and that's something that many of you have not seen. Maybe your parents have seen it. If you're in your 70s, you saw the emerging middle class back in the Henry Ford days when the Industrial Revolution kind of kicked in, and people were going from being farmers to moving into the cities and getting jobs and getting car loans for the first time and mortgages for the first time. And there's a sense of excitement about what tomorrow holds, right? That's what you're seeing here in the Dominican Republic. So you're seeing an emerging middle class that for the first time are getting a car loan, for the first time getting a car, for the first time able to buy a home because the banking sector is advancing and able to loan them money based on how much money they make. So you're seeing this emerging middle class that is really, all these political campaigns, they're based on what? They're based on the middle class, right? The middle class in North America, unfortunately, and we feel for so many people, and that's why we do what we do, so we can give you options, but the middle class is getting decimated in North America. Okay, husband, wife, all the kids, everybody's working, and you still can't stay afloat because you're buried in debt.
The rat race.
The rat race, and there's no hope of getting out of it. You're not seeing that here. You're seeing people that, for the first time in their life cycle of their entire family, they've left the field and they've moved into, let's say, Piantini, or they've moved to Punta Cana to work at the resorts. It's life-changing stuff. And that sort of energy is something that's contagious, and you're going to feel it when you're here. Okay, so the emerging middle class, that's another big one. Then the Dominican Republic, politics-wise, let's talk a little bit about politics for a second, and then I'll let you chime in on it. But you have this bipartisan kind of energy in Canada and in North America. Turn on CNN and you'll see it. So over here, what you're seeing is two political parties that are pretty much aligned in their beliefs on how a country should grow. Pro-tourism, pro-business, pro-foreign investment, pro-investment into their people and schools and infrastructure. All these different aspects are really helping drive
They want the best for the country, really.
They want and it's not the best for their party. No. It's the best for the country. So we just had our election, I don't know, 8 months ago or so. People said, oh, be careful, you're in Dominican Republic, election. Hey, guys, I was in Piantini, I was living there.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. I didn't even know an election happened, okay? Compare that to USA,
Oh
okay?
my gosh, yeah.
So that's another thing that's really important, because the political climate is really set for growth, okay? And they're pro-growth, and it's not just growth in from one community, it's an international desire to live in an environment like this.
It's truly for the better of the country, the better of the people here. You know?
Yeah, exactly, and that's what you're seeing. So what you're seeing is internationally, everybody around the world wants to be in this kind of environment. They don't want that polarization. They don't want the leaders of their country constantly at arms with each other. They don't want that anymore. They're sick and tired of it. Whether you're in Europe, whether you're in Russia or Canada or USA, pretty much any first world country is experiencing these kind of chaotic situations. Another big one, safety. Safety is another big one. Guys, who was I talking to?
Can I say something about that?
Absolutely, yeah, please do.
So as far as safety, when I first moved out here, everybody thought I was nuts. And we go back and forth about this all the time. Every time we have dinner, I tell you this. Everyone thought we were absolutely crazy for coming out here with,
I feel you.
With our children and everything. You have babies, you have this and that, you're in a third world country. They come and visit us here and like, whoa, what happened? I thought you were in a third world country.
Let me toss in this part of it. Your dad is actually a physician.
Yes.
And go ahead, tell him.
No, my dad thought I was nuts coming out here. He's like, your kids are going to get dengue and this, and there's no medical help out there.
And where's your dad live now? So that's what's
around the block.
Around the block,
Around
exactly.
the block.
So his dad lives here as well. He's a physician, and it's a great story to be told because it's reality, right?
Yeah, no, it's insane because, I mean, do you want me to get into it?
Go for it.
I mean, so I'm originally from Long Island, New York.
Yeah, tell him a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Born in New York. Moved to Florida as a teen. Pretty much raised in Florida, and we came back and forth to the Dominican Republic every so often. My parents are Dominican.
Yeah. That's amazing.
But like every Dominican, my dad, his dream was to come back to the island, right?
Yes.
And just finally be here with his family. Didn't work out for him. We ended up going back, and I finished school out in Florida. Went to the University of Central Florida. I got into the hospitality industry. Was working there 17 years. During the pandemic, my wife and I were like, "What do we do now? This is the world is kind of crazy right now."
Totally.
And then we had friends living here. Well, one of my really good friends, Robert, was living here with his family. We came and visited him, and it was totally different from us vacationing at the resorts, because everybody comes, they stay at the resort, and that's the vibe you get, right?
People think that's Punta Cana. They think that's Cap Cana. It's not, guys. That is 7 days in. It's probably someone right here.
Yeah.
And this way you guys are you're gonna be able to dial in. And sorry, Carlos, keep going.
No. Everybody thinks that when you come to Punta Cana,
that is a client. Robert, big shout out. That's you right there. You can see I didn't answer your call because we're shooting a video. All right, I'm gonna get back.
You heard us.
Hey, you heard us. I'm gonna get back to you. And Robert, actually, congratulations, just bought something here in Cap Cana. Okay, so and he's looking at the trifecta. He's looking at Las Terrenas. He's also looking at Piantini. So Robert, big shout out. Congrats again, and I'll get back to you in a minute. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all right. And this is how it is. This is not even made up. It's all day we're receiving these calls. People
absolutely
they want to know, how we're doing it, okay? And,
absolutely.
And questions and are you scared? And what about the security?
Yes.
And this and we're like, hey, come out here
and see.
Come take a ride with us,
Yeah, exactly.
And when they do, they feel like, wow, this is totally different from what we thought. Again, we would come out here all the time.
What mainstream media would tell you, right?
100%.
Like we saw some nonsense, we're not even going to go into because it's negative energy, but just nonsense that gets pulled up and thrown into mainstream media, which is just fear-mongering people.
That's exactly what I was going to say. People love that, right? People love that.
Out of respect for the people involved in the scenario, it's just fear-mongering, right? And if they can scare you, sorry, a little bit off topic, I want you to continue on everything about yourself, but do you not feel that there's a vested interest in the country you live in today for you to stay in that country?
All day.
So if I own that country and I rely on your tax dollars or you as a person to live there and work in the country, I would probably try to scare you into staying in that country.
Yeah.
So I feel that's what people are subjected to by the mainstream media.
Right.
And that's why all these questions come up, like, oh my God, how can you go there? It's unsafe. It's, you're gonna get robbed. And
my father-in-law, John, he's 25 years Navy, retired, He lived in...
John's amazing, yeah.
Isn't he awesome?
Yeah, he's great.
Awesome guy. Good fisherman, showed me how to fish and everything
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And I was never into that. That's my guy.
Totally.
So John told me, hey, listen, I lived in Sicily. I lived in Crete. He's lived all over in Asia, you know, in the Navy.
Yeah.
And he says, I feel like every person, every North American should at least spend 1 year overseas. Because a lot of time just living there, he's from Michigan.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He's from Upper Peninsula, Michigan.
Okay.
And he's like, back at home, we don't think outside of our bubble. You know?
Of course.
This is what we do. This is how just life is.
This is the world.
This is how life is,
Yeah.
you know? And that's it. But then him being in the Navy, 25 years, it opened his mind, you know? And that's how, you know, sometimes we have to be. You know, we have to see that there's other things other than, you know, what we're used to in the
Absolutely.
US, you know?
And, you know, I think today's day and age, there's an advantage that you guys have, okay? There's an advantage that I didn't really have that because it wasn't really a thing when I decided to come here. But as the advent, I was kind of one of those first YouTubers that started putting content out about, hey, let's live here and let's do this thing. In that process, you guys are able to learn from people like myself, and we're able to share the experience in a transparent, real way. And that's kind of what the goal of what we're delivering is, the transparency, the realness of it. And we put our money where our mouth is. Carlos is invested here as well. I invest constantly, as you guys know. I'm Las Terrenas, Piantini here. So we put our money where our mouth is. So what we do is we just teach you what we're doing and show you how to do it the right way. But keep going on the story yourself.
Oh my gosh! So we would come here 2-3 times a year, my wife and I, and we stayed at the resorts, and we had excellent times.
Of course.
We loved it out here. But would we live out here? No, because what we thought was just, you know, around the resorts, you see it was very like, you know, the motorcycles and the stray dogs and things like that. But I always like to tell people we're from Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
It's like, are you going to live on International Drive where, you know, Disney is and stuff like that? No, you live on the outskirts, you know, you live where people are, you know, where the real Floridians are, stuff like that. Of course.
And that's a big difference. What the net of that is, most people know Punta Cana as the all-inclusive resort.
Yeah.
Foam parties, teenagers going crazy, and all the beaches are slammed and packed, and everybody's just wasted and eating as much as they can.
There's nobody here.
I don't see anybody wasted or eating as much as they can, or a foam party. Okay, this is the real way that
nobody's
you would
throwing
live.
an iguana on your shoulder.
Yeah, no.
Hey, you want to take a picture?
And then that's one of the reasons, and we'll explain to you, and I do in a lot of my videos. I'm very pro the offering of what Cap Cana is. Many of my clients understand and agree with that. That's not to say that the offerings of Punta Cana are not great, but I feel the Cap Cana offerings are very defined and very specific, and I feel the upside of Cap Cana is huge. I think the upside is big.
Right.
But different topic for another video where we'll do a little bit of comparison for you on some different ones.
Going back to what I was saying,
exactly.
Right? So we would come, we'd visit, have a great time. I would never think that I would live here. I came, visited my buddy Robert, stayed at his place, and it was like, I did not think I was in the Dominican Republic.
Exactly.
The way the infrastructure was, how safe I felt, you know?
Exactly.
It means I've stayed in other places in Mexico, and there's like bars on the window and stuff like that. None of that here, you know?
No.
Now my kids, they back at home, I would never let my kids just, you know, and I lived in a nice area in Orlando, Florida, but just like letting my kid, I have a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old, and I have a 14-year-old niece.
Our daughters are best friends.
Yeah.
They're actually together right now at our place.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris, I picked them both up at school. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would never just let them go, you know?
Of course.
At a beach, you know? I would never go to Cocoa Beach or Daytona Beach.
I'm still getting myself accustomed to it. Yeah.
I'm getting them used to it.
Yeah, he's actually getting me used to it.
I'm like, they're okay. Just
one advantage that Carlos does have as a value add on the team overall is that he does have Dominican blood running through him, as his father is Dominican, so he has that advantage, and that's something that's going to really benefit you guys as well, because you do have that advantage. Of course, I look at things as a North American. I'm a North American investor. I come at things with that approach, which is a structured and solid way of coming at this market, or any market. But what Carlos does, he brings that as well, but he also has the understanding of the culture, being you know, a North American Dominican. How would you define what like
North American Dominican?
North American Dominican, right? So that's something that's an asset that you guys are going to be able to utilize when you come down here and see stuff.
Absolutely.
So then let's get to right now. So you're here. When did you decide to make the shift and make the move?
So we decided to say, hey, you know what? Let's take the jump.
Yep.
We're going to the Dominican Republic. It's post-COVID now. What are we going to do? We're in. I think many Americans were in that same thing.
They still are.
They still are. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people back then were working from home. You know, who
Exactly.
never experienced that, and it was just weird. It was just weird back at home. So we came out here. We loved
It's
it.
still weird in Florida. Yeah.
You know.
Do you like going back?
I go back. Listen. I'm a North American. I
Yes.
love going back home, but there's nothing like being here.
Yeah, he loves it more than I do. I don't enjoy going back that much.
I go to get my fix for stuff. You know, like I go back there to eat my Chick-fil-A.
To eat your Chick-fil-A. Actually, he found a better spot. You saw that video.
Oh my gosh! If
Yeah,
I saw
in
that video,
PNTV, yes.
This guy put me on a new chicken sandwich.
Exactly.
It was unbelievable.
No, it's so you make the decision. You find a place that you're going to invest in to buy.
We're here, okay? Everybody back at home was like, "You're nuts!" Like I was telling you
Yeah.
earlier, "You're nuts! Your kids are gonna get
And your dad specifically,
kidnapped."
right?
My
Yeah.
dad, my brothers, Michael and Jonathan. They were like, "You're nuts! What are you doing?" My cousins, because we have a big family network back at home.
Yeah.
You know, we take the jump. We're here. We're experiencing everything. My brother Jonathan, which you spoke to.
Yeah,
Jonathan,
exactly. Yeah, he's great.
and he said, "Let me go visit Carlos." He comes out and visits, and he's like, "This is crazy. This is just like being back at home." And he bought right next to me. Literally,
That's
the house
amazing,
right
yeah.
next door. Jonathan bought.
Yeah,
you know,
so cool.
He went back home and told my brother Mike, "Mike, Carlos is not that crazy. This really is legit. This
is the real deal.
Yeah,
It's happening. Yeah.
It's happening. It works." And so Mike came, and he's like, "Wow, you know, this is really happening. Like we feel like we're back in Florida. The kids are safe. You don't have to be on top of them. You can go to the mall. You can go to the movie theaters. You can
Exactly.
do everything. You know." Mike ended up buying a house right behind mine.
That's amazing.
My dad still was like, "You guys are all nuts.
My kids are crazy.
My kids are crazy. I just raised a bunch of nutsos, a bunch of whack jobs, you know."
Yeah.
We did the numbers. Bum, 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 bum. And he's
Cost
like,
of living, that's a big one. That was what I
cost
was
of
going to
living.
touch. Yeah.
My dad's like, "Hey, I can pay off my house. It's great. I only owe like 40 grand on my house.
Exactly.
And then I'm going to be living like a king." I said, "Hold on a second. You still have to pay those taxes. You have your HOA."
He's referring to North America.
North America.
Yeah.
His taxes, his HOA, his pool guy, his landscaping.
Insurance if he's lucky, if he can even get it.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. My dad's 70-something years old.
Yeah.
You know? So I didn't want to see my dad working at the supermarket bagging groceries just to pay his stuff. You know?
Of course, yeah.
So when he did the numbers, he's like, "This makes nothing but sense." You know. So he came to visit us, and he was like, "Wow, this is not the Dominican Republic that I remember
Yes.
growing up, or when I came out with you guys as young kids, you know, and tried to make
When
it
North
happen
America
here."
was flourishing and there was
Yes,
opportunity
yes.
and it was a different way of
Yes,
living,
yes.
people left and went there.
Exactly. So what did Dad do? What did Dad do?
What do you do?
He ended up buying a house right behind us as well. So literally, we all have now. Granted, my brothers are not permanently here like us.
Yeah.
Okay, they go back and forth. They're here.
Christmas is here. You guys have one of the coolest Christmases. Our whole
Right?
family's here, yeah.
The whole family's here for the holidays, you know, Christmas. Summer times, they come out here. My brothers work remote, and they can be here the whole summer. All the cousins are here, so we have, between all of us, there's 9 kids, okay? And they're just going from, it's a tornado from house to house.
That's amazing, yeah.
You know, they're growing up with each other. I remember as a kid growing up with my cousins.
Mm-hmm.
My cousins were like my brothers, you know, so I wanted that for my children to have that, because back at home, again, we're living in that rat race, you know? I'm worried about myself. Mike's worried about himself.
I
Jonathan's
feel you.
worried about...
Absolutely.
Months would go by, and I'm like, what is Jonathan doing? I haven't seen him in like a month, you know? Mike, what's he doing? I'm like, hey, kid, let's get together. I can't right now. This and this is happening.
Man, that's part of the thing. When I go back to Canada, that's what happens. Like,
Right.
everybody's just busy in their rat race.
Yeah.
And we'll go back and see family once or twice, and then you're out of there.
Right.
Everybody's just busy. You
How
know?
often? Okay, we work together, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
aside from
Well, we see
working
each other every day, yeah.
Aside from that, we're also friends, and we
Yeah,
see
of
each
course.
other.
And that's a key thing. That's kind of how it started.
Daily.
It started as friendship first, and as you know, with the love where you live, I'm in the hospitality business in Canada as well. Okay, as you know, and as any of you that have already on the channel, when someone's part of my team, there's a personal relationship first that has to exist in order to get to this, right? Because to carry the same mindset and the same motto and the love where you live, it takes a minute to get to climatize yourself to someone's moral compass.
Right.
And so it wasn't that Carlos just started working with me right away, or this took some time, and we were friends and we spent time together. Our daughters actually did the introduction.
Yeah.
And
Thanks,
then
Amelia,
yeah, thanks,
Al.
thanks, Al. But they ended up doing that introduction for us, and then we spent a lot of time together. And how often do we see each other? Quite a bit, because there's stuff to do, right?
Yeah.
Because you go to the beach together, you go here.
It's every weekend. What are you doing? We're going to the beach. We're going to the water park.
It's so it's so easy, and it's natural. It's not forced, right?
No, not at all.
Because it's part of the call. It's cultural, right? Like, for example, in the Dominican Republic, when the weekends hit, they really focus on family time, and that kind of starts to rub off on you. Us North Americans,
work.
You know, honestly, I love where you live. I love what I do. So it's exciting when someone new comes here and to kind of show them this world. But over here, family time is very important, and that's something that will really grow on you. So yeah,
definitely.
When you guys do come down here, whether you're coming to Cap Cana, we have a client today that wants to. I just connected you with them today. They're looking at Punta Cana Village, really cool spot over there that they're looking at. So we really dial into Cap Cana. We look at Punta Cana Village, but then Las Terrenas. A big shout out to Brian, Lila. That's the team, the core team that's over there in Las Terrenas. Again, they're like family, and it's the same culture, the same mindset, the same transparent delivery is kind of what we want to deliver to you guys. In these Friday recaps or cocktails with Kash or whatever we're going to end up calling it.
Weekend recaps.
Yeah, you guys help us out with that. Remember, leave some comments below. What we want to do with this is give you an opportunity to field some questions. So if you maybe it's not so easy for you to get on a plane and come down here, or maybe you're struggling, like we're saying, the middle class is having a hell of a time making ends meet, and you can't afford to get down here right now. But that's what you want to do. What we want here on the channel and this community that we've developed and are building is like-minded people, because we believe there's a lot of synergies that come from like-minded people that want the same thing for their family, the same thing for their financial positions, people that believe in a life like this, a place where they love where they live. So what we want to do is empower you guys to ask those kind of questions, and we'll do our best to answer them as clearly and concisely as we can.
And a lot of times, so we see all these clients that we chat with them, we meet with them, and I always tell Kash, these people are like becoming almost like friends and family with us.
Absolutely.
We want them to have this. We want them to like love where they live.
Tracy and DJ.
Tracy and DJ, that's family.
Yeah, like that's family.
Absolutely.
Big shout out to you guys. Congrats. We just recently sold their place, and they're on the prowl for a new one.
Yeah.
And I think they might have found it today, or they narrowed it down to a couple.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
But that's the thing, guys, and it's going to be very, very natural. It's not going to be forced. What I do get from a lot of clients over the years is they come down here, and for whatever reason, they did not. We encourage you to make us your first phone call when you come down here, because we're going to show you the opportunities that we would invest in. Okay, and that's what's different. We're not going to show you opportunities that are maybe not in your best interest. We want you, once you explain your parameters, you explain what's important to you, what you're looking for, then we're going to show you options that we would invest in if we were you. Okay, and we treat your money as if it's ours. And would we invest in that? Would we pay that much? Yes or no? How would we set up the payment terms? We engage our legal team right away. They start doing the due diligence for you. They want to make sure that whatever you're looking at is free and clear of any liens or any encumbrances. Taxes are all up to date. No third-party litigation or liens on the property, nothing like that. So we engage our legal team, and we make sure that once you find what you love, that you can buy it safely and securely. Right.
And it's happened to us many times. We get clients, they reach out to us, they send us a bunch of listings, and we're like, no. Then when we actually go out there, we show them a video of the place.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, oh, okay. It makes sense. This is definitely not what we were looking for,
Exactly. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, there'll be very often when you're sitting in North America, you'll have someone send you a bunch of stuff that it seems too good to be true.
Can I give you a perfect example?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like back in the days in Florida, right? When people from the north were buying, like, hey, we're sight unseen. Yes, let's get something, and they're buying swampland. And they were thinking that they were getting a piece of Miami,
A piece of Miami.
Yeah.
They were getting
this. Is what they were buying for $100,000, and then they were getting something like by the Ocala National Forest.
And that's one of the things. That's why we encourage you to make sure, make us your first phone call. I've been saying that for years. Reach out, send me that direct WhatsApp. I'm going to loop in Carlos over in Las Terrenas. I'll get Brian Lila dialed into it, or our team in Piantini. But reach out to us, and that way you can save time and money. Okay, save yourself the headaches, because it can be. As you know, this is not a regulated market, so anyone can be selling you real estate. And there's some people that are good at it, and some people that should not be selling anybody anything ever.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Unfortunately, they're out there, and the power of technology. For example, a good channel right now is that you're able to get positive information, but by the same token, you can get led down the wrong path.
Right.
So if you shoot us a quick WhatsApp, we can kind of guide you and say, hey, don't waste time on that, and this is why. And yeah, you're right. Some of the listings that people send us, we say, stay clear because
clear of that.
nothing's happening there.
Like I told you, I have this gentleman coming in now from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And he says, well, on Monday, I'm going to go chat with this one agent in the morning. He's going to show me something, and then I'll meet with you in the afternoon. I said, not a problem, you know. But this guy is also a friend of a friend, because obviously everybody becomes a friend here.
Of course.
And I said, go have at it, you know.
Exactly.
But what you also want to know is that we have your best interest for you. I'm not just going to sell you something and run away and be like, that's it, I'm done with this guy.
Exactly.
I'm done with Tracy and DJ. No,
Yeah.
we have to see you. If we're going to be living in the same area, this is a bubble.
That's what's key, yes.
You know, I'm going to see you at the kids' recital. I'm going to see you at the restaurant,
and
at the
that's
bank,
an important point.
You know?
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's key. Because what I am seeing a lot of nowadays, and this would be a good topic for one of our cocktails with
We
Kash
can
and
wrap
Carlos.
up with
Weekend. We don't know which way it's going, so you guys got to help us out with that one. But that's a really important thing that you guys need to be aware of, is we do see a lot of people that don't even live here, have never even been here, but they are really good at programming a website and popping up on Google listings. So I have people in Canada that are selling real estate to people that want to live in the Dominican Republic, in Cap Cana, and the people that are selling to don't even know what they're talking about because they've never even been here.
Right.
Maybe they stayed at an all-inclusive with a phone party once, but you came across them on the internet and you're relying on them to provide you with advice on buying something here. And sometimes the money that's being invested is all somebody has. So you can't rely on someone sitting in some other country with a website. You know, that's one of the advantages that we're sitting here, we're driving around, we're living it. And like Carlos was saying, we're gonna see you. And big difference than someone selling you a piece of real estate that's never gonna be here, never gonna see them again. And you know, there's no accountability.
Sorry about all the stories. I mean, I work off of third-party stories, you know?
Absolutely. A little bit about your history too. Like you're not new to real estate sales per se, right?
No. Back at home, I mean, I was in the
I worked for the biggest
industry.
resorts,
Yeah, 17 years next to Disney and everything like that,
Exactly.
You know?
No, that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. But yesterday, I was with a gentleman, you know, he came over, worked 25 years, still working, 25 years as a bartender. Has his daughter, and his whole thing is he wants to go ahead and retire out here. Doesn't have a huge budget.
Shout out to Mitch.
Shout out to my brother Mitch. How are you, Mitch?
Mitch. Big shout out.
Yeah. And he wants something here. You know, he came here one time a while ago and he saw something, and I guess it just didn't work out for him. But he came here now, and it just opened his mind,
of course,
of how everything is, you know, and how we can treat him like family and everything.
Exactly.
And that it's possible. Anybody,
that's what's key. It's possible.
25 years as a bartender, and he's like, even for something as small as $100,000,
of course,
he can find himself something. With the right guidance, you know.
Yes, that's what's key.
With the right guidance, because somebody can sell you something for $100,000,
for $69,000, and the day you buy it, it's worth $29,000.
Correct.
You know that can happen. So it's really important that you, like you're saying, the right product at the right price.
Exactly.
Right location. Location's critical. Future development that's coming around that location is critical. There's so many components.
Right.
But guys, for example, in Cap Cana, there's this illusion that Cap Cana is unaffordable for the population.
$40 million homes. If you don't have $10 million, you
forget
can't
about
buy
Cap
here.
Cana. That's an illusion.
Yeah.
You know, that we don't agree with at all, because I have clients right now. I have a client, for example, the one bedroom, we've got it in and around that $250K. So you can get into the market, $200K, $250K. We've got so many different options, but the key is information. Don't believe everything you hear immediately. Do a little bit of research.
Yeah.
Send me a WhatsApp. I'll connect you with Carlos or Bri, Lila. Ask those questions and we'll give you that information clearly. Don't believe what you hear right off the bat, because Cap Cana's for everybody.
I saw a condo yesterday, the first time, okay, at that building over at Azuri.
Oh, yes. You were blown away.
This was $1 million condo, Kash. Literally $1 million condo, 6th floor. Views of the ocean.
Las Iguanas golf
views
course.
Of Las Iguanas, and I'm like, this is $1 million condo back at home. $375.
Unbelievable.
This is insane. I went that night. I told my wife.
I think you called me right away. You're like, this is unbelievable. Yeah.
I told my wife, I'm like, babe, we got to pick up another condo
because
like,
the prices are great.
The price is insane, and I know very well for a fact in 5 years that will not be a $400,000 or $500,000 condo. You know, just the way this is like a Miami condo overlooking, you know, the beach type of thing. You know,
absolutely,
it's unbelievable.
I know what you mean.
Unbelievable.
And that's the thing. It's the key thing is information. To understand the information, probably don't jump to conclusions based on what you're hearing. What we want and what we are going to strive to, and this is what the channel's been about for the last 4 years, is making sure you're an informed buyer. Yeah. Okay, we're not always right, but I assure you that when we're investing into the market, we're doing as much research as we can to make sure we're protecting our own investment. So rest assured, if we're investing into this market, there's something about this market that we really like. We would never ask you to invest in a market that we wouldn't be investing into. And Carlos can attest to it. Like, I really like Cap Cana. Yeah, it really is a great spot. The upside is amazing. It really is. But let's talk. We were just in Las Terrenas about 2 weeks ago. And Las Terrenas is a unique, a completely different market than what Cap Cana is. It's the stark opposite almost.
That beach
but
there?
Both equally unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
No. The beach in Las Terrenas, oh my gosh, man. It
untouchable.
Is,
nothing compares.
You feel like you're in like Bali or something like that.
Exactly.
And just that whole vibe, you know, it's got...
It's
like,
a different feeling.
Yeah,
what I'm seeing from a lot of clients, and I was talking to Bri about this as well from Las Terrenas, what I'm seeing is clients are so excited about the uniqueness of the country, because this isn't a little sliver in the middle of nowhere. This is a massive country. One of the biggest, if not the biggest country in the Caribbean. Am I accurate with that? I don't know if I'm accurate with that. Leave a comment. But it's massive, okay? So Las Terrenas, what I'm seeing clients do now is they're investing into Las Terrenas, and they're saying we have our beautiful beautiful beaches of Las Terrenas. We got the beautiful mountains. Yeah. It's very green, okay? It's very lush. They say, oh, you know what? I also now want the best golf courses in the Caribbean. I also want the amenities that come along with a Cap Cana. So they say, you know what, Kash, we're also going to invest in Cap Cana. Or vice versa. They've invested into Cap Cana. Hey, I also want to get into Las Terrenas. Right. And you know what? I got both of these now. You know what? I'm watching your videos about Piantini, and those restaurants look amazing. And that city is going to explode. World Trade Center is going there. Yeah. That's just an indication of the massive growth that's happening. They say, you know what? I'm going to own something there. So when I say trifecta, you can invest and pick and choose and diversify your investments within the Dominican Republic, right? Which absolutely. Is unique. You can't get that in any other country. Right.
No, and just how far enough, but how close enough everything is, you know?
It took us, I drive a little faster than the average, but it took me like 2.5 hours. I think if I was going speed limit. Don't tell people. But I think if I was doing speed limit, 3.5, right?
Yeah, about 3.5.
Something like that, yeah.
About 3.5.
Yeah.
To get to Las Terrenas from here.
Exactly, yeah. 3.5,
right,
yeah.
Right.
I think I set the record like 2.5 or close to 2.
Don't tell the girls that. Don't tell the girls that.
So,
but with that being said, yes. You're here in Cap Cana. You're here in Punta Cana, right? You want to be in the mountains?
Well, we're going to Piantini tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we're going to
on
Piantini
a whim.
Tomorrow.
Just a couple hours ago, we're like, hey, his son's birthday, and we said, you know, let's go do something cool in the capital.
Yeah, let's go.
We're going to leave at 9 a.m. We'll be there by 11 a.m.
Hang out all day out there. We're going to take them to the jumpy park, the trampoline park.
There's so much stuff to do.
Oh my
so
gosh,
much fun
best
stuff.
restaurants. Yeah. Really good, you know.
But that's the key. You're in Cap Cana, but you have access to that. Same distance from Las Terrenas. You can be in Las Terrenas in a place that, you know, it almost feels like a slice of heaven. It's so natural. Yeah. But within 2 hours, you're in one of the busiest, most up and coming metropolitan cities in the world, right? Yeah. So you have it all. IKEA, everything, whatever big brands, national brands.
My mom and dad back at home. My dad would work, again, he's a physician, right? He'd work, come home, they would eat something, they'd watch our shows, take a shower and go to bed.
This was in Florida, or were we in New York?
Florida. This is the rat race, right? The circle. Next day, go to work, come home, have dinner, go to bed, you know?
Yes.
And that's it. Weekends, what are you doing the weekends? I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe do some stuff around the house, you know?
Yeah.
Here, it's like, hey, Dad, where are you guys? Oh, we're here in Jarabacoa.
Amazing. The mountains over here.
The mountains, you know. We're in Las Terrenas. Oh, we decided to go drive an hour and go to La Romana. And
amazing.
They're like on a honeymoon. Every time I see them, cool, it just like rekindled their romance.
Absolutely.
It put a spark in them again, and I love that. I love that.
Imagine now you extrapolate that and you go the reverse direction where they're in Florida. Yeah. So at least they have nice weather, right? Cost of living costs you a lot to have that nice weather. But imagine now you're in the northern hemisphere, Canada, where 8 months of the year, let's say not 8 months, let's say 6 months of the year, if you go outside, it's going to kill you. Yeah. So imagine what that does to people's psyche. So we have so many Canadians, and congrats, not just for the political reasons or the cost of living and, you know, the polarization, but the weather purely.
Right.
You're saying, hey, enough of this shit. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm out.
I don't even know what it feels like. I'll never shovel a driveway again in my life. Like it just won't happen. And trust me,
salt on the driveway.
And I don't miss it. And there's nothing you could do ever to convince me that that is a good idea.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a lot of North Americans that are just saying, enough's enough. This is crazy. Why are we doing this?
We have clients who are, I guess, young empty nesters. They had kids young.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
A lot of them.
Yeah. And their kids just left to college, and they're like, what do we do? I have clients from Las Vegas, and all of a sudden they're like, we're going to the Dominican Republic, and here in June they're actually moving because they see, they're done working, and then
they see the opportunity too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quality of life, opportunity, cost of living, safety. One thing I tell a lot of clients, because I'll get the random person on YouTube saying, "Oh, it's so unsafe there. I can't believe you live there," and then I always have to respond to them and say, "Tell me how many mass shootings North America has had in the last year to date."
I think like last week or 2 weeks ago.
No, but honestly, I think the number, and I feel really bad, so I'm not speaking to it in a derogatory kind of fact, just reality. I think there's like 300 mass shootings. You know how many there've been in the Dominican Republic? 0. Guys, it's a different place, and this goes back to what Carlos was saying about our kids being able to our kids could be on this beach and just disappear for 20 minutes, and we would not be worried.
The way I've changed mentally, as far as like with my children and them being able to do things, I've kind of like let loose and let go a little bit, because
of course.
Back at home I was wound up real tight.
You wouldn't even let them in your front yard, and you live in an affluent, nice neighborhood. Yeah,
they would not be able to like just go, I'm going around the block to go see Kelly. No, you're not. We'll take you to Kelly's house.
Yes, exactly.
Here, I have a 14-year-old niece that's
exactly.
She's living here now, and she has so much freedom here now.
Exactly, I see that.
You see that, right? They get on a golf cart, they're gone. Her and her little friends.
And because of that freedom, I see the children here. If you have kids, that you can dial into this or tune into it, because they handle themselves at a different level too. Because of that, the cultural, the closeness of the families, they're very close knit.
Yeah.
The kids are acting different.
Yeah.
It's not the same. Like when I go back to North America and go to the mall and see how these kids are acting in North America.
Hold on a second. She even told me that.
She did. She saw the difference.
Bella told me. She goes, you know what's funny? She goes, the kids here are different. And I thought she was going to say something like,
negative.
Negative. Yeah. Like they're a bunch of jerks or whatever. But she was like, they're really different here. The kids. I'm like, what do you mean that they're different? She goes, they're really nice. And when she said that, I'm like,
they are.
Yeah, like, what do you mean by they're nice? She goes, no, they're like really nice kids, and like they're like back at home. I remember when she come home from school, she showed me on her phone, like, oh, there was a fight today. Look at the fight we recorded.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
There's another fight in the bathroom. Look at this fight in the bathroom. Not that that's going on all the time or all over the place, but
it is going on all over the place. From what I hear from my niece.
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that.
Over there, yeah.
Yeah, back at home. And
he's a little less vocal on the topic. I see it, and it pisses me off. The way they're allowed to live.
Or I'm at work, and all of a sudden I would get the text message, school's on lockdown, and I'm calling her, hey, Bella, are you okay? Oh, yeah, we're all here in the cafeteria. They put us all in the or in the auditorium.
What do they call it, AST or something like that? Active shooter training?
They did that. They did that for our kids, the active shooter training, We can go down a rabbit hole, Kash, with this, which is not about that.
It could be an episode. I think it's really important, and many people want to kind of put their head in the sand about it and be like, oh, he's just talking shit because he wants to sell real estate.
Right.
But no, guys, it's real, and that doesn't exist here. It just doesn't. And I, knock on wood that it never does. But
today they're doing the international fair at our kids' school.
Yeah,
right?
Where Elle and your daughter
they're all dressed
in
up with
Dominican
the
clothes.
cultural, typical clothing.
It's so clean. It's like how kids should be, is what you see here.
The older kids are like helping and taking care of the younger kids.
I was going to say that when we went last year, we went to a water park in Santo Domingo, and I was with Brian and his kids, and his little boy, who's also best friends with Elle. He went down a slide, and Bry's kids can swim just like his daughter. Elle is like a fish in water, but many Dominican children can't swim. Right. And so they're very cautious when people are in the water, kids, and they get very paranoid right away. You'll notice that if you ever come down and you become part of the community. So Bry's son went in the water, boom, came in the water, and we had no concern because he can swim. But immediately you saw a teenage 13-year-old, 14-year-old kid come and grab him and hold him and bring him.
To make sure he's okay.
And then not just to make sure he's okay, but then stayed by his side the entire time. And we were just like, that shit doesn't happen in North America.
No, never.
No,
never.
Absolutely not. So it's not just that it's cultural, because The people are very loving and caring of women and children. Okay, they're always got their eyes open. They're always very caring about that. The elderly, and then that carries through to the teenagers, because then the teenagers are going to be teenagers, of course. I'm sure they get themselves into some shit and do stuff, but they're caring and they're going to look out for other little kids. And guys, honestly, I don't see that, at least where I'm from in North America. And I've been around the country a little bit, and I'm not seeing that.
No.
And not to dog any of the teenagers that are out there in North America. You don't know any different. Like, what can you expect? You don't know any different. Your parents don't know any different.
Heads in a phone the whole day or in an iPad or something like that. It's just like
it is what it is. But the key message, the key deliverable on that is it's different here. And that would be a reason why you would also want to say, hey, let's call that place home. Maybe you're not ready to move here. Maybe, I've got tons of you that maybe you're not ready to move today, but at some point you've had enough and you just need certain T's to be crossed and I's to be dotted, and then you're going to pull the trigger. Guys, even if you're like, I'm never going to live in Dominican Republic, because I have a few of you that invest here and buy properties. You're like, we're never going to live there. Kash, we love it. We see what you're saying. We agree, but no chance. I'm never moving there. Cool. Great place to invest as well, okay? Because your investment is sitting in a country that's very safe. You own your title.
Stable.
Stable. Punta Cana, I think we just bypassed 11 plus million tourists last year, set all-time records for the country. You're in a great spot investment-wise. There's a lot of demand resale-wise. There's these amazing tax incentives I talked to you about called Confiture, where you pay no property taxes for 15 years. You don't pay a land transfer tax. There's all sorts of like government incentives to motivate you to invest for your next investment instead of keeping it in a bubble inside North America. Invest internationally and get yourself a piece of real estate over here. And I highly encourage you guys to look at that as well if you're not thinking about moving.
One thing that I always talk about back and forth with my dad and one of my brothers is that this is almost like what Florida was like 15 years ago. If you can maybe 20, right? Yeah. If you can go back 20 years ago and invest in Florida, right? In Palm Beach.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda,
oh my gosh, you would have done it, right?
Like we say Palm Beach, like Cap Cana, all day long. This is going to be Palm Beach.
This is Palm Beach, yeah. All day long, If you could have invested in Palm Beach 20 years ago and put $1 million into it, and put $100,000 into it, right?
Yeah, think about it, right?
This is and I'll fast forward.
You fast forward.
This is exactly what it is.
Hey, you say to me a lot, like the real estate here is going to be untouchable in coming years.
Isn't that the words I always use?
Yeah, you always say
Kash,
that.
10 years is going to be untouchable.
Yeah, exactly.
Really,
absolutely.
Really it is.
And I know because we're sitting here in Cap Cana, but the same thing really applies to Las Terrenas, because that market is just like snowballing in a positive direction as well. There's so much development. Infrastructures are brand new. For example, in Cap Cana, and I did a video of it, what we're running into, and we'll try to cut this one short. I didn't plan on it being so long.
This guy talks a lot.
I end up talking a lot, especially when you love where you live and love what you do.
And he's loving his Presidente.
We're going to need another one, so we're having the last couple sips here. The thing about Cap Cana, which is unique, is it's all new. So the infrastructure is new. Where you're running into North America, and this is where you're seeing, the global warming effect, as people would say, where all the flooding, infrastructure is breaking down, the fires, all sorts of random occurrences. I wouldn't call them random occurrences, but occurrences that are happening that cannot be contained. A lot of it is because of a failing infrastructure. It's an old infrastructure. 70, 80 years, you got pipes in the ground. These things are decaying and need to be replaced. Not so easy to replace a decaying infrastructure. Where over here, what you have is a brand new infrastructure. You have brand new pipes going in the ground. All of our electricity underground, so if a hurricane comes through, everybody still has power. Water lines are going underground. Everything is being, with the newest technologies and the newest systems, engineering-wise, are put into place. Same thing you're going to see in Las Terrenas, because that's a big topic over there. There really isn't a strong infrastructure, and that's no secret, but the infrastructure, there's dollars being put into creating a new infrastructure there. So what you're going to have is a country or a continent that is breaking down.
Like a Pueblo de los Pescadores, right?
Bingo, all that's being redone. We were just there, and that's all being redone. Beautiful. So you're gonna you have a country that's being for the first time. Services are coming into certain areas of the country, like Las Terrenas and Cap Cana, where you have Palm Beach. That shit's old now, man. That shit's breaking down. You get a little bit of rain, and I don't care. You're in Palm Beach. You're flooded. You're screwed, right?
Yeah. And let's go back a little bit to what we were talking about, how they respect women, children, old folks. I'm sorry to I'm piggybacking off of something.
It's a good topic. Go for it.
But and it's just because my dad's here, and that's
Seniors,
my old that's my old man, and I love. Okay, I'm gonna paint the picture here.
Okay, go for it.
My dad You've seen the King of Queens, the show King of Queens?
I have not, but maybe somebody has.
I'm sure somebody has.
Yeah.
My dad is Arthur, the dad that lives in the basement.
Okay.
And anything sets him off, you know.
Okay.
You know, from this little thing is, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Look at this traffic, you know.
Like Seinfeld, like the dad, what was it? The dad in Seinfeld. That's what it sounds like.
That's my dad, right?
Yeah.
But here, with all his craziness and all his thing, they just like, all right, dude, come on. And they just like, they work around him. They kind of like accommodate him. Whatever you want, sir, come on. You don't want to sit here? Let's sit here. Oh, you don't want this drink? I'll change it out for you. You know, it's like.
That's the culture. That's kind of the vibe. And take care of the seniors, right?
Taking care of the seniors. And what's that word that they always use? Disculpa.
Yeah, right? Excuse me.
Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. We'll make it happen.
Yes.
No.
And that's something, because we have a lot of our clients are seniors too, right? And why would you want to sit in a hostile kind of environment in North America? If you're in Canada, freezing your ass off. If you're in Florida,
this cranky old man. Look at this cranky old man.
That's kind of the mindset. Now, like I have restaurants back in Canada, and I'll tell you, my staff, I don't necessarily agree with them at times, but that's kind of the mindset they have. Crazy old people.
Yeah.
It's not the culture here. It's not the mindset.
No.
They take care of people. They love people. But again, no fault of anybody's. It's just a cultural difference.
Yeah.
And you'll really feel it when you come here. So if you're a senior, or if you're in our like prime of your life, and you know you're on the go and you're a hustler and you want to do better and you're striving for more, then what a great place for you to come and place your flag, because guys, sky's the limit. The economy's booming. If you have the will, there's a way here. Not like that in North America, guys. You can have the will, but there's no way unless you got a shit ton of money. And if you have a shit ton of money, there's so much red tape surrounding everything that it doesn't make it easy.
From 100,000 to 40 million, whatever you want, you can have something.
Honestly,
here.
it is like the 70s. It's like the 70s in North America, where there was opportunity.
Right.
It's just not like that anymore in North America. And then you go a little bit lower, and you're a new family, young kids, or going to have kids. Guys, if you're thinking about having kids, have them here, because granted, have your U.S. citizenship and Canada. I get all that stuff, so you can travel all around the world. That's all cool. But what I'm saying is, raise them here, so they can have really good core values. They're safe when they're in schools. They get culture, and it's really a great springboard to go wherever you want. You can go to Colombia from here. You can go to Ecuador. You can go all over the Caribbean. You can visit places just like on a drop of a hat.
My mind,
Puerto Rico's 30 minutes away from here.
At school, it's like the United Nations, right?
Yeah,
it's literally like the United Nations.
I think it's 27 different nationalities go to Heritage.
Our kids have kids that have. One of the little girls that are in the class with our kid speaks 5 languages.
That's amazing, yeah.
And like fluent, like she'll jump from language to language, and I'm like, wow, German, Italian, French,
it's amazing,
English, Spanish, and that's the culture. That's how it is here. Most kids are speaking 3 languages here.
Yes.
They speak English and Spanish, and then whatever other culture they want. Whether it be they're Russian or Chinese or whatever it may be, and that's huge. That's huge.
It really is. Like, moral of the story there, it's a great spot to raise your children. It's a great spot for them to be outdoors and really experience. Like at the beginning, I was talking about the ocean and how strong and magnetic it is to life in general. And guys, when you have access to that, and that's what you would have here. In the Cap Cana area and Las Terrenas specifically, even if you're in Piantini, 30 minutes you get yourself to Boca Chica and you got your access to the beautiful beaches. Yeah. But there's so many different aspects and elements, and that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to try to recap here. We still got to figure out the name of what this is going to be, but we're going to try to do it every Friday right about this time.
We can wrap up with
Cash and Carlos, or cocktails with Cash and Carlos. We're going to figure out this one, but you guys are going to help us. And what we're going to do is we're going to go live with it as well. Carlos will have his laptop, and he'll be able to say, hey, so-and-so's asking this, and this. What do you think? And I'll be able to give some of my thoughts and feedback on that. Maybe we'll even pull some experts in. Sometimes we'll pull our attorneys in. I've got my legal team in Las Terrenas, Vladimir Guzman-Ariza, he's amazing. I've got my legal team here, Jose Fernandez, with Alter Legal. He's awesome and amazing. We can pull them in. We're going to go sit at a few different restaurants that we like. And hang out there and talk to you guys. But hopefully this becomes very useful and very insightful and adds a lot of value to your search, because ultimately what this is about, all of it, what is it about is ensuring that you invest safely and securely in a place that you love where you live. Okay, that's our goal, to make sure you invest safely and securely. Open your eyes to opportunities, and that's really what the channel is doing. Open your eyes to opportunities in a different way of living. Don't feel you're trapped in what you're doing.
because we honestly love where we live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, this is not a show. This is not a front, you know?
I think we've been doing this for like 45 minutes, and I could probably talk for another 45 minutes.
I can go on about how I
Because
love
there's so
it
many
here.
components about why this is special.
We won't. We're not going to do that to you guys, you know?
That's your promise. I don't know. I might keep going. We're not done
I
yet.
gotta cut this guy off.
I'm tempted to have you go grab us
Run
another
upstairs and
beer.
grab some more.
Yeah, we'll do another 40 minutes here. But you know what? Honestly, it's very easy because it's very real. Okay, it's very real. I would not do what I do anywhere else in the world now.
There's
because
passion here. When you're passionate about something like this, and you're really living it, and you're seeing the changes, you're seeing that, you know,
the
everything's
growth,
going on, the growth. It's crazy.
It really is something special. And like again, I keep pointing back there. You guys are lucky you're able to enjoy that scene back there. But
should I go back to show that this is not fake?
Go for it. Go for a run.
Look at this. Hold on a second.
No, but literally, guys, it's just like it's stunning. And this is where
this is
where
real,
I go for a run
guys.
every morning.
This is not a backdrop.
Yeah, it's literally right there. It's really something special. We do have opportunities here in Punta Palmera as well. Also, guys, let me add. I'm gonna add in here, which is important. I didn't want to forget. Is if you're a property owner, okay, and you own real estate in Las Terrenas or here in Cap Cana, or you're in Punta Cana Village or Punta Cana Resorts, and you own real estate that you are looking to sell. Maybe you're looking to realize your gains. You're looking to invest into another market, whatever it is. Guys, please feel free to send me a WhatsApp, and we can assist you. Because as you know, we're about to surpass 150,000 subscribers. A lot of people watch what we do, and a lot of people take our advice, and we can get your property out there and get it in front of the right people. Okay, and if it's the right property, maybe we can even showcase it on the channel. Okay, it depends if it's special in some way, shape, or form. But nevertheless, if you have a property that you want to get out there and you're in one of the markets that we specialize in, send me a WhatsApp, send me the info, and Carlos will reach out, or Brian or Lila will reach out, and let's showcase your property on the channel, and with all of the avenues that we have to help you get your place sold. Okay, so keep that in mind if you're an owner.
Don't want to toot our own horn here, but we just literally sold the property in a day, less than a day.
Yeah, literally. So our client, both our clients wanted to sell it. Other client wanted to buy it. Other client wanted to sell his. I wanted to buy another one. So literally, there's a whole ecosystem that flows and works. And that's because there's been 5 years of developing a really cool community and a lot of synergies that evolve through really good intentions, transparency, love where you live, network of professionals. All that stuff really can go to work for you and help you get your property sold or help you find a really cool property. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're getting a chance to, even the developers we work with, we try to work with the best of the best, developers that are transparent, developers that offer a really good product.
Deliver on time.
And deliver on time. And sometimes, shit happens and deliveries could be delayed, but what's key there is communication.
Right.
They need to be communicating clearly, concisely with our clients, and we stay behind it and push and support the entire way through. I think you're in great hands if you're working with myself and anyone on my team. I really feel that.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
We have nothing but the best interests out there for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I said, our clients aren't. We don't consider them clients. At the end of the day, they're also like friends and family.
Absolutely.
We always say these are people we want to walk on the beach with. We want to go ahead and have a cocktail in the evening. We want to go ahead and see you at the bank and at the kids' school recital and things like that.
Our biggest asset, like what we like to say, is our biggest asset in our company is a happy client. That's our biggest asset, because that's really ultimately what we're striving to achieve. And we'll work as hard as we can to make sure we do it.
100%.
All right, guys, I hope this was informative. We just wanted to get out there.
Help us with the name. Help us with the name.
Help us out with the name. Leave a comment. But we're gonna be trying to do this. We're gonna set the times. We're gonna be doing this. We'll probably stick to an hour to 30 minutes or something like that.
Today we're drinking.
We're having a Presidente today. Maybe next week we'll have a rum.
Rum and Coke or something.
But this is a work in progress. But it's gonna be information, and we want you guys to tune in and log in and start firing away and asking those questions. So we'll share those instructions with you this coming week. And I don't really know how it works, to be honest. So we're going to figure that out.
We're going to figure this out.
I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a YouTube guy. I'm not a social media guy. I don't really understand the technology. All I do is create it and upload it. And then you guys do with it.
He's not even exaggerating. Literally, it's like...
Literally. So you know what? We're here just to really get you the information as quickly as we can and as clearly as we can.
It's funny you say that, because I've had clients that I take out and they're like, what I like about Kash's videos is that there's not a lot of mumbo jumbo going on, and not a lot of flash and this and that.
I don't know how to do it.
It's just like literally he's just videotaping something and just like putting it up there.
Yeah,
you know?
guys, honestly, I just don't know how to do it. Or maybe I would, but I don't. I just got rid of my BlackBerry, and I might go back to it. I got this Google Pixel phone, and I'm really missing my BlackBerry. It's going to be back.
iPhone or Android? We can go about this all day long, but
BlackBerry.
he's talking about a BlackBerry.
All right, guys, on that note, love where you live, and please make sure to make us your first phone call. Please make sure to keep your horizons open and don't stop dreaming. Doesn't matter how complicated shit gets over there. It doesn't matter how far from reality this feels. Trust me, I've seen clients do it where they've been back up against the wall and they've been able to pull it off. So I guarantee you can.
This is for anyone.
This is for anyone. There's nothing really special about me. It's, the only difference between me and many people is that I'm not scared to take the risk.
You took the leap. You did it.
You take the leap, you do it, but you're able to calculate yours out more because you have access to myself. You have access to like a Carlos, a Bri, a Lila, and you can comfort yourself more as you take those risks. When I did this, there was nobody. And I just did it.
Nobody holding your hand saying,
no one holding your hand.
This is what you're doing. This is your lawyer.
There's no process in place, and but we did it. So my point is, you can do it too. So if you think about it more than once a year, then it's time you send me a WhatsApp. So you've thought about it enough. Get out there and let's try to help you find a place you love where you live. All right, Carlos, that's it for this one. Anything?
We'll see you guys next Friday. Love where you live.
Love where you live.